Yes, people, welcome back to the Red Zone. I'm AJ, and this is all your Manchester United sports, entertainment, and news updates. Today, we're going to be doing a match reaction for yesterday's Manchester derby, where the final score was Manchester City 6 and Manchester United 3. We're going to talk about that result, we're going to talk about the performances of the United players, and we're going to get into it. The first thing we should say is it's not always a big surprise to lose to City. They smash most teams in the league, but what is surprising is conceding 6 goals, which is a bit of a joke, especially after how good the defence has been playing. Varane, Martinez, Malacia, Dalot, they've all been on fire recently, and I don't know what happened yesterday, whether it was the occasion that got to them, whether it was the tactics that they couldn't perform as well as they wanted, but kind of all fell apart, to be fair. If we go into just go straight into the defence, really. Malacia, to be honest, he looked a bit out of his depth. He looked like the game was a bit too big for him. Normally we see him bombing forward, we see him positive, crunching in the tackles. Yesterday it was like he was a second behind, or he's taking that extra yard to think and judge what's going to happen, which is all well and good, but with a team like City, their wingers, their thought process is too quick. By the time you've given them the second, they already know what they're going to do with the ball, where they're going to place it, where they're going to run to, which is why he was getting run around ragged. Just like Dalot on the other side, he got a booking within the second minute. Grealish, Bernardo Silva, obviously were over there double teaming him, and my man was getting run ragged. He's been on absolute fire at the start of the season. He went away to the international break. He scored a couple of goals. So it's just disappointing when the team's been playing that well, when the defence has been that solid, keeping out the goals. It's just disappointing that that happens. I mean, Varane, it was quite obvious that after he took that lick to the foot with the ball, he was never the same again for the game. You could see him kind of didn't want to put the full force onto his ankle. Martinez was trying, he's always got that warrior mentality. It's probably from being Argentine, but it was too much for him. It was everywhere. I think they focused too much on Haaland before the game. Everything's about Haaland. Let me just say right now, Haaland, the guy's a beast. The guy is a problem. I don't think I've seen a striker like him in the Prem for a long time. But when you're out to play a game, you're playing 11 players. You're not just playing Haaland. Now, I don't know what it was. Maybe it wasn't, but from what I could see watching the game, it was as if everything, you've got to think, you've got to know what Haaland's doing, where's he going to go, what's he going to do. If you're putting too much pressure on yourself to watch the one man, then you're going to free up space for the other men. They're obviously going to get the ball through to Haaland then because you're paying too much attention. It's just a bit of a mess, to be fair. But yeah, as a United fan, it's not good to see, but Haaland is a monster. De Gea, we're not going to go too hard on De Gea. He conceded 6 goals, what can you say? You're not going to say he had an amazing game, but from when all the goals were literally centre of the goal, most of them inside the box, what's he supposed to do? He's supposed to have his cover from his defence, he's supposed to have his cover from the midfield, which obviously they weren't getting. The only thing I'd pull him up on is the free kick. I think it was Gundogan hit the post in the first half of a free kick, and De Gea's just standing there. Now, I know we're already a couple of goals down by this point, but come on, you can't just stand there. Otherwise, what's the point in putting the wall there? It just doesn't make no sense. People are going to jump on it and say, De Gea out, De Gea out. You know what? It is what it is. The man's on 370k a week. His contract's up next summer. If they don't renew it, then he's going to have to leave, and we're going to obviously have to bring in Henderson or look for another keeper. Or he could stay. If he's going to take a pay cut, he can stay. Obviously, if that's what Ten Hag wants, Ten Hag might want to go the other way, because we all know that De Gea's ball skills, ball control, it's not the best, is it? The midfield. The midfield was the worst part of the game for me yesterday. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what game they were playing, but they weren't playing the Manchester derby, which is one of the most important games of the season. Bruno, captain, missing. I didn't see him for the whole 90 minutes, if I'm being honest, apart from when he was badgering the referee, moaning about decisions. Just get on with the game and battle. We all love Bruno. Bruno is the rightful captain for me, but yesterday he had a bad game. He just couldn't get a hold of the midfield. Same goes for Eriksen. Eriksen, so far this season, I can't fault him. What a signing. Cost absolutely nothing. He's been dominating the midfield, threading the passes through, whipping the balls across, rotating the play. Yesterday, all I saw, I've never seen Eriksen in his entire career, even at Tottenham, misplay so many passes. I just can't believe it. On FIFA, the man's weak foot's got 5-star weak foot. Passing's crazy. Now, I know that's FIFA, but you expect kind of the same levels as we see week in, week out. But that was by far his worst performance for United since he signed for the club. But it can only get better, can't it? Scott McTominay, chasing shadows, didn't really get a hold of any of the runners, misplaced passes, didn't do anything creative. He's been playing, well, the people have been raving on him, but he's been playing okay. He hasn't been playing amazing, but I think the time might come for Casemiro to step in and see what Casemiro can bring to the table. Because we've saw McTominay do this far too often. Couple of good games and then shit for the rest of the period. The next however half a dozen games or so. We need someone who's consistently in there, can dominate the midfield, which we saw Casemiro do in the short space of time. The man throws himself into stuff, shields. It's like he's telepathic and knows where the ball's going to be. We ain't got that with Scott. He's always chasing shadows. The attackers, Rashford, Sancho, absolute shocking shadows of themselves. Especially Rashford, we thought he was coming back on the right track. Don't tell me he's come back from injury too soon again, because I'm getting a bit fed up of hearing this. He needs to stay on the side until he's fully fit. And if he was fully fit, that was shocking. You're playing the striker role. You've got to hold up the ball. I didn't see him bring one ball down and bring anyone into play. I saw him on the halfway line, pop a pass off 10 yards and it didn't even reach the player. Then Malacia has had to race to get there, bring down the man, get yellow carded because of Rashford. Sorry. He did nothing in the attacking wise. He had one chance in the first half where he was put through, Ederson was out racing and he slips on the ball or slips over the ball, which not a good performance from Rashford. Sancho, on the other hand, he has been in good form, and it was kind of a piss take that Southgate left him out of the England squad. But yesterday he didn't really get involved. He didn't really do anything. He was trying to dribble, but he was losing the ball. That's not like Sancho. Sancho's a bad boy dribbler, so I don't even know what was going on. I don't want to hear all the talk about, he used to play for City. The stage got to him, the game got to him. I'm not having that. I just think he had a poor performance, which leaves the only other person that was starting the game and the only person who started the game and who deserves praise, and that's Antony. For the whole 90 minutes, I see this man pick the ball up, try to dribble forward, see if there's a pass. No one's making the pass. He's got his arms up. I see him tracking back. Even in the 80th minute, I see him clearing balls, getting stuck in. Obviously, he scored a world-class goal, 25 yards out, curled it into the far corner. Absolutely mad goal. So, yeah, he's the only one who deserves praise. The rest of the team is quite shocking. Also, Martial came on. He looks sharp. Glad that he's back, got his 2 goals. Hopefully, he can keep fit and push on for the rest of the season, because we're going to need him. Yeah, before we finish talking about the derby as well, I want to talk about the Ronaldo situation, because there's a lot of talk on the social media saying, should he have started? Should he have even played any part? After the game, Ten Hag spoke about it and said, out of respect for Ronaldo's great career and the great player he didn't want to bring him on. Now, don't get me wrong, I kind of understand where the man's coming from, you know what I mean? It's big, one of the greatest players to ever play the game, one of the greatest players to ever play for Man United, and you're going to bring him into a game that's 4-0 down, so it's going to reflect on him. What's he supposed to do? I don't know, but I also understand the other side of the story as well, as at least give him the opportunity to come on the pitch and try and affect something. It's a bit of a sticky one. I did say I would have started Ronaldo. he got banged up on international duty, you saw his face and that, but if he was fit, I would have played him because he's obviously been fit and he's been playing through the season, whereas Rashford was out over the international break with the injury, recuperating. So I just don't understand, but you have to go with what Ten Hag says, and I do kind of understand what he means, kind of taking the piss really, like, oh yeah, GOAT, you come on, even though we're getting smashed 4-0, and you just, at the end of the whistle, you come off looking as fucking depressed as everyone else, like, nah. But in the same sense, is Ronaldo, he would have wanted to play, he would have wanted to get on, maybe latch onto one of those goals that Martial latched onto. You don't know really. And that's about that for the Manchester derby. Obviously, it's disappointing. What we have to say now is Ten Hag's gonna have to get them in, get them fucking running. What he did the other day, I haven't even checked the kilometres, the distance run yesterday. City ain't really a big running team anyway, but he's gonna have to get them in, get them running, and keep the drills coming to his style of play. Because I'm not gonna go in on Ten Hag at all. 6 was anything. You can expect to lose to City. 6 was a lot, but really with the team, there's still the same sort of players in the team, not really fully back the manager. What can we expect? Cody Gakpo, I see the man scoring, being involved in about 14, 15 goals so far this season. 34 million would have cost us. God knows why we didn't get him. And we're struggling with attack right now. Martial just come back, but what about before then? What about if he gets injured again? Ronaldo not really fitting the plans. Rashford, more of a winger. So it's kind of a mad one, but we're going to have to focus on Europa League this week, I think it is. We're playing Nicosia to take the 3 points there and start moving in the right direction there. And then in the Premier League, let me just check the notes. In the Premier League next, I think we've got Everton, Newcastle and Spurs. And realistically, we're going to have to take 9 points from those if we want to going to be in the hunt for the top 4. Right. Let us know what you think, guys, in the comments. Let us know what you think of the performance. Maybe you want to give some player ratings, any questions you want to ask us. But quite disappointing, really. I went into the game yesterday hoping for a win, and we got smashed. We took time before we did the video because we didn't want to jump on it or sounding all pissed off and this and that. Because a loss against City it's a loss. They beat most teams in the league. But getting beat 6-3 after the good performances we've had, it's a bit of a shock. So that's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned and thanks for watching. Remember, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. We're going to be uploading a lot more videos, a lot more regular now, so you'll want to know when we've dropped. Don't forget to check out the Instagram page, give us a follow, and there's all extra content that you get on there daily as well. That should be down in the bottom of the screen. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Peace.